A boy, a bird, and a statue. This is a spiritual story that explains how God can communicate with you. So one day, a boy went out for his daily meditation, but this meditation would be no ordinary meditation. He walked out and he sat on the edge of a pond. And on the edge of this pond, there was a table in front of him, and to his right, there was a statue of the Buddha, and to the left, there was a statue of Saint Francis of Assisi. Now, Saint Francis of Assisi is the patron saint of nature and ecology, and he's often depicted holding a bird. Remember that. So this boy closes his eyes and he begins to meditate, and meditation's hard, so he's kind of struggling. His mind's wandering all over the place. So he decides, I'm gonna take a break. He opens his eyes and he starts looking out at the pond. And on this pond, he immediately hears all these birds chirping, like tons of birds chirping. And he sees them flying across the pond from tree to tree. And so he decides, instead of meditating, for now he's just gonna watch the birds. And he's watching the birds, and he begins to attain that peace that is actually the goal of meditation. He attains that meditative state from watching the birds. He's watching them, he's focused on them, his mind begins to slow down, there becomes separation between his body, his mind, and his spirit. He can feel it all. He's conscious, and some birds start flying closer to him. There are two trees near him, one a little to his left, that the statue of Saint Francis of Assisi is under. And so there are some birds in these trees, and he's listening to them chirp. And he's going deep into this meditative state, just focusing on these birds. Then he looks over at the statue, Saint Francis of Assisi, and the statue, Saint Francis has his hands cupped, and there is a bird sitting in his hands. Remember to like and subscribe if you would like to see more spirituality content. As he looks at this statue, one bird in particular flies up, lands on the table right in front of him, and looks directly at him. The bird hops a little closer, and it chirps, and the boy is sitting there, looking right at the bird, trying to be as still as possible because he doesn't want to scare it away. The bird comes even a little closer, within almost 2 feet. The bird is within arm's distance. The boy could touch the bird if he wanted to. But they sit there, and they're looking directly into each other's eyes. Just staring, and they both become silent. The bird is staring into the boy's soul, and in that moment, the boy experienced it. He experienced enlightenment, he experienced God, he experienced the complete consciousness, the highest level. He experienced true existence. And it's funny, because, of course, the thing that delivers this message, this experience, is a little birdie that comes when he's looking at the statue of Saint Francis of Assisi, who's holding a bird. This goes to show that God, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, if you're receptive and you're listening, it will give you signs. It'll give you messages. It'll give you teachings. This boy, in that moment, he knew the answer, he knew the secret, but he can never say it, because the truth, it's not something that you can say, it's not something that you can comprehend, it's something that you experience. So the moral of the story, be open, be aware, be watchful for guidance. Guidance is all around you. If you know how to look and where to look, you can learn something from everything you look at.